It's nothing too complicated.
I was expecting you to have a lot more written down because
I try to. I don't like to. I feel like you're writing too much down and you get a little paralyzed. I don't know. It's too much. I want to be able to free flow, free wheel. So, yeah. But yeah, a lot of it's just, I've done this for 5 years for you guys, so it's institutional knowledge at this point. So.
Cooper's grandma and grandpa, they live in Virginia.
Yeah.
They love you.
Oh, nice.
They love that you do this. Good train fly?
Yep. I'm all set, thank you. Nice uniforms. Ville, they're the Ville. It's interesting warm-up music.
The final weekend of the regular season is upon us as Catholic Central hosts 2 more games at Southside to close the 2025-26 schedule. Welcome to Cougar Puck Radio. I'm Matt Gajtka, and first up on the weekend is Northville, a top 10 team statewide. The Mustangs are also ranked 5th in Division I according to the Michigan High School Hockey Coaches Association. They're 17-8. And they come out of the Kensington Lakes Athletic Association, the West Division of that league, and they bring a powerful offense to town. So Catholic Central donning their purple uniforms this evening as we have reached the annual Hockey Fights Cancer Night, and each Catholic Central player sporting the name of a loved one, a friend or a family member who's been affected by cancer, who they would like to memorialize and pay tribute to on this night. Thank you for joining us on CPR as we've got high school hockey coming your way both this evening and tomorrow afternoon as the Cougars host Senior Day. It won't be Senior Night because it's going to be in the middle of the afternoon. So 2 games back-to-back. Very tight turnaround as the Catholic Central hockey team in season number 52 concludes the regular season and gets revved up, or at least that's the goal, for the regional playoffs. The regional semifinal is scheduled for next Thursday at Patterson against either Jackson Lumen Christi or Grand Rapids Christian, 2 teams they've played this year. But that's coming up next week. As of right now, the task at hand, a difficult opponent in Northville tonight. Also, a worthy foe tomorrow afternoon against the Midland Chemics. But as for this evening, the Mustangs are scoring 4 goals per game. I mentioned they have 17 wins. Catholic Central, though, right behind them with 16 victories. Despite their 3-0 loss to Rockford this past Saturday, Catholic Central is guaranteed to post its best regular season win percentage in a few years. They're 16-7-2, and in previous seasons, that would have been it. You were only allowed to play 25 games, according to the MHSAA. This year, you can play up to 27, and Catholic Central and their first-year head coach Kyle Marchand taking advantage of that as he's added 2 more to the schedule. And honestly, it's a little bit easier than it used to be in the OK Conference because last week you had those 3 guaranteed conference games in a 5-day span. Catholic Central went 1-2 in the OK Conference tournament, falling to Mona Shores and Rockford, as I mentioned, and beating Holland West Ottawa in overtime. So CC with 2 to go before the regional playoffs, before it becomes do or die. But that's not to say that the intensity will be lacking tonight. As I mentioned, everyone in the building fired up to help honor folks who are fighting cancer. It's a big part of the hockey community writ large, not just high school, but also all the way up to the NHL level. So this has become quite the endeavor, and this is an annual thing for Catholic Central. In fact, we've got a silent auction going on coming up next week to auction off these jerseys. That'll be in the lobby of Southside Ice Arena on Friday, February the 20th. So that's next Friday. Auction baskets, though, will be open to bid through the 23rd, and you can keep a lookout for the QR code to start your bidding once that portion of the commemoration, that portion of the celebration, we'll call it, commences. And this is all in tandem with the Van Andel Institute and their Purple Community Initiative. And there's a lot more purple, a lot more lavender in the rink tonight at Southside here on the blue rink. Typically, it's all blue. We got some blue with some purple to go along with things, as it's a very special night. Always a special night when you get a chance to represent your school, but for these student athletes, a little bit extra, or a lot extra, on the line this evening. So Catholic Central has dropped 2 out of 3 for the first time since December when they went 0-2-1 over a stretch just before the Christmas break. They lost last time out, but they have not lost 2 in a row all season. So that little streak is on the line here. And I know that the Cougars have taken pride in bouncing back this season, and the proof is right there in the results, what they've put together so far this year. We also are going to have a special student or a youth player of the game, and that's going to be Coach Marshawn's son, Oliver. He'll wear number 63. He plays for the Fox Motors Mites, and the son of Kyle and his wife Jennifer. And tonight he'll be skating for his grandma Pam, who was diagnosed recently with ovarian cancer and is starting chemotherapy later this month. Oliver attends St. Robert Catholic School in Ada. His favorite hockey team is the Red Wings, and his favorite player, surprise, surprise, is the Florida Panthers' Brad Marchand. No relation. At least I'm assuming no relation. Maybe there is some from way back in the day. And when Oliver grows up, he wants to play hockey for Grand Rapids Catholic. So we have that in addition to the Hockey Fights Cancer, the usual festivities and commemorations. The Cougars have done this at Southside Ice Arena since 2016. They've been partnered with the Van Andel Institute Purple Community since then to raise both funds and awareness for cancer research right here in Grand Rapids. And thanks to Cougars fans and their incredible support over the years, the program has raised more than $500,000 over the past decade to advance breakthroughs in cancer prevention, diagnosis, and treatment, helping families in this community and beyond. So again, thank you for making Hockey Fights Cancer Night here at Southside what it has grown to become in now over a decade. This will be the 11th year that the Cougars host this night, and big appreciation to Fox Motors and the Southside Ice Arena for also teaming up and providing their support for what goes on here, usually right near the end of the season, and it is once again right near the end of the regular season at least, as we're in February and we're coming down the stretch. Starting lineup's about to be announced here, so I'll step aside, take a short break. I'll turn up the public address feedback so you can hear some of that. And then we'll have, of course, the opening prayer, the national anthem, and we'll get set for the drop of the puck between Catholic Central and the Northville Mustangs here on Cougar Puck Radio. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in just a couple of minutes.
Number 5, Alex Kaburkian, skating for Casey Fodu. Number 11, Jackson Dosma, skating for his mom. Number 12, Noah Onstock, skating for Aunt Mary. Number 13, Cohen Potter, skating for Uncle Tim. Number 14, Cooper Miles, skating for his mom. Number 16, Isaac Kopica, skating for Nana. Number 19, Noah Burkmeyer, skating for Grandma Natalie Santa Maria. Number 20, Levi Jensen, skating for Coach Norm. Number 21, Casey Tinharsel, skating for Grandpa T. Number 26, Dave Potter, skating for Uncle Tim. Number 27, Brady Calvin, skating for Grandpa Calvin. And now for your starting lineup on the Grand Rapids Catholic Central at defense, number 8, Parker Moore. At defense, number 10, Oregon Costello. And at forward, number 22, Kayla McLean. At forward, number 33, Karsten Carlander, skating for Drew Brown. Number 30 and number 31, Jacob Aaron. Goalie, skating for Levy. And number 4, my apologies, Aiden Heminger, skating for Rock Hobson. Tonight's youth player of the game is number 63, Oliver Marshall. Oliver plays for the Fox River Knights. He is the son of Catholic Central head coach Kyle Marshall and his wife Jennifer. Tonight he is skating for his grandma Pam, who was diagnosed with ovarian cancer on January 27th and is starting chemotherapy later this month. Oliver attends St. Robert's Catholic School in Ada. His favorite hockey team is the Detroit Red Wings, and his favorite player is Florida Panthers number 63, Brad Marchand. When he grows up, he wants to play hockey for Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please stand and bow your head in prayer. thank you for the opportunity to gather in support of our communities and schools. We ask that you watch over and protect our student athletes and help them perform to the best of their abilities. We also ask that you help each person here tonight exhibit the kind of sportsmanship and character that would be pleasing to you. Amen. We ask that you remain standing. The privilege of this event was made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy. Let us now honor and respect their efforts and our country. Civilian gentlemen, please remove your hats. All veterans, we encourage you to render the appropriate salute. And everyone able, please stand at attention, placing your hand over your heart as we play our national anthem.
Throughout the evening, I will relay along to you, in case you didn't hear from the public address announcer at Southside, who each player is playing for. And as they touch the puck, as they make a play, I'll give you those names one more time. Catholic Central back at it after a 3-game stay at Griff's Georgetown last week. Back home sweet home for the final 2 home games of the season, and guaranteed to be the final 2 games they'll play this season, as the regionals will be at Patterson, and if they do advance past the regional round, then they'll be playing elsewhere. But so this is it for Southside Ice Arena. This game tonight and tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock against the Midland Chemics, not to be confused with the Midland Dow Chargers. We're taking a tour of Michigan here this weekend, at least the eastern side of it. Northville Mustangs in town. They bring their powerful offense to the table. And we're underway on Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Cougars in the purple with the blue helmets and blue pants. Northville in the brown as it's turned over. Heminger in the slot, stumbled down as he got checked there, and the puck drifted away behind the Mustangs' net. Caden Connor came back on the back check. Desperation to break up that play. And the Cougars have to go back behind the net for it. Up the middle it goes from Onstadt, picked by Chenoweth at the blue line. Throws a shot, deflected off the leg of Lucas Gorkel, number 59. Gorkel, one of the top scorers for Northville with 24 points. Coach Kyle Marchand said, watch out for this top line for the Mustangs. Turning drive from the side of the net by Gagala. And I think Aaron made a save on that. Might have hit the outside of the goal. Opportunity in close for Cassie, and he shot it off of Aaron's arm, and it hopped up over the glass and out of play. So 2 quick chances for Northville right out of the gate. And they are Mustangs, I guess. It helps to be quick out of the gate. Trying to win a race. I mentioned Gorkel has 24 points. Tommy Maranov has 26 goals and 42 total points. And Jordan Shiraki with 22 assists, 32 points for him. Ethan Egelski, 25 goals, 41 points. So those are your top 4 scorers for Northville. Egelski, a former member of the Bay Reps program, which is actually playing right now on the rink behind us against Byron Center. Ahead it comes. Here's a turning chance on the backhand by Cappinga, and he put it just wide of the netminder Castiglione. Great opportunity for Cappinga. Cooper Moss takes the puck. Playing for Mom tonight. Moss takes a bump, keeps the puck on his backhand. Laid it right back. Onstad a shot, deflected wide by Gage Potter. The freshman now with 13 goals on the year, Gage Potter. 20 total points. He leads this Cougars outfit as it's a wrap try by Cappinga. Didn't get in front. Pummeled away from the side of the net by Celine, and out it goes. Back down into Cougars real estate. Nearly 2 minutes into this game, and each side has had a push offensively. Ten Harmsel bumped off the biscuit by Shiraki. Played it into the face-off circle for Marinoff, and he left it behind and scooted out of danger by Cohen Potter, who's playing for Uncle Tim this evening. He turned it over, though. Near wing, Ten Harmsel, playing for his grandfather. On the near side, and put in behind the goal where Alex Kevorkian gets back into action. Missed a couple games due to injury at the tail end of the OK Conference tournament. He gave it up to Rex Chenoweth, who rifles it right back into Cougars real estate. Ten Harmsel's attempted breakout pass clatters off a couple of sticks right back to Casey, and he drives at the distance just wide of the netminder Castiglione, and it's an icing against Catholic Central. Jacob Aaron gets the start for the Cougars. His numbers on the season, how about a .919 save percentage? Sounds pretty good, as does a 2.17 goals against average. Just the one shutout on the year, though. That's, I don't want to call it a blind spot or a weak spot in the resume, but for some reason or another, it's been tough to get the clean sheet this year. Just the one shutout on the road at Lumen Christi, but plenty of games just allowing the one goal. And when you give up one, tough to lose. So that's the point here. Lead pass, McLean. Oh, he couldn't pull it to his forehand side as the puck got caught in his skates. Nearly a breakaway for Catholic Central. They've had a couple off the rush. Backhanded in deep by Morgan Pastelli. Got to meet his family last week in Griff's Georgetown at that rink. Good to see them. Left back, surging up the middle goes Waters, and he's turned away by the Cougar defense. Kevorkian and company got in the way. As the puck is bogged down in the near side corner, Tommy Kogan reaching for it, number 27, in the dark brown uniform of the Northville Mustangs with the orange and white trim. I think that's dark brown. It might actually be black now that I look at it again. It's right in between, and that orange makes your eyes play tricks on you, I think, at times on the contrast. Deflected over the Cougars bench and out of play on the attempted dump in by Marinoff. And so the faceoff coming up at neutral ice. 13:29 to go in the first period. Faceoff pulled back to the Cougar line. Berkmeyer couldn't handle it at center. Catholic Central restarts. Here's Jensen serving it up the gut off the skate of Metzger. This is Ryan Metzger trying to get the puck out, couldn't do it. So it's back in the possession of Northville. Graham Reba. Around the wood it goes and out. Back into Catholic Central territory. Onstad skating for his Aunt Mary. Played it back. And notice the Cougars have purple tape on their sticks as well. It's that light purple. Lavender, I believe, is the official color of Hockey Fights Cancer. Reaching in Berkmeyer. He popped it loose. And Noah Onstad turns it back against the grain. Over to Parker Moore. Good to see him healthy, too. Was concerned about him after he missed a game in the conference tournament. And Noah Onstad also. He was injured late in that loss to Rockford. That was a very physical game as Gorky takes it for Northville. Speeds it across over to Lee. Plays it around the horn. Chenoweth halfway down the wall in the Cougars' end. Relayed by Cassie. Gorky closing, shooting, and Aaron got a piece of that. It hops behind the goal. Gorky on it again. Softly over to Cassie. Back to Gorky, a one-timer that was deflected. Caden Connor out of the corner. Yanked it back behind the goal to Gorky. Confronted by Onstad, who fell down. Gorky on it. He's got Connor in the middle. Gave it to him. Fan on the one-timer, down on one knee. And jabbed out of the zone by Parker Moore, but not quite all the way down. Won't go far enough for an icing. Catholic Central can get some fresh troops out there for Coach Marchand and company. Cross check by Northville's Shiraki, and that'll put the Cougars on the power play. Shiraki drilled Kapinga right between the shoulder blades. That's an easy call for the referee on the near wing. And with 11:32 to go in the period, Catholic Central on the advantage. That's also one of the top scorers for Northville, Jordan Shiraki. 32 points. Also, though, leading the team in penalty minutes with 42. So the Catholic Central power play goes to work, and they get a face-off win to start, but quickly cleared by Celine on the turnover. Aaron at the side of his net, hands it off. More dangerous play right into the body of Griffin Peters, who knocked it down. Peters circles the Cougars' goal. Moss tried to pin him. It's loose for the carry out by Moore, who sends it up the near boards. Clipped by Kapinga, right past the reach of Gage Potter, who's playing for Uncle Tim this evening. Back out to the blue line. Moore drags it for a shot, deflected. Save made by Castiglione. Rebound loose at the side of the net, and it ends up pushed out to the point. Onstad can't keep it in. It's again flushed out by Peters. Celine battling with Moss. Loose puck again back in the Mustangs' end, and Reba sends it the distance. All the way down, 1 minute to go on the Catholic Central power play. It's first of the night. The Cougars trying to avoid back-to-back losses for the first time all season. They fell 3-0 to Rockford last time. Pastelli puts it off the glass on a solo effort. Ten Harmsel down the far boards, picked off and cleared by Jacob Lee, the defenseman. And down it goes for Aaron, who's playing for Mimi today. Aaron left it in the path of Ten Harmsel. He dragged it up into the Northville zone, but intercepted on the dump in, and Chenoweth drives it away. 20 seconds to go on the advantage. Cougars on the power play. First of two this weekend against non-conference foes. Guess we saw enough of the OK teams last week, and now we're back to non-conference. Icing against Catholic Central on the power play. That one stings. Only 16 seconds to go on the penalty to Jordan Shiraki for cross-checking. Marinoff takes the face-off against Heminger, and Marinoff won it straight back, but an errant shot by Ethan Egelski. I was saying he played for Bay Reps a couple of years ago, also played for Honey Baked, also played here in Grand Rapids, some youth hockey, and now at Northville. Egelski leads this team in power play goals with 8 and power play points with 13. Here's a shot by Egelski on cue. Stop made by Aaron. That was a shorthanded chance, though. And Aaron made the save. The rebound clattered to the far wing. Behind the goal, turning it, Marinoff. Back to the point, Reba. All the way across. Back to 5-on-5 play. High shot by Sieving. Saved by Aaron. Rebound punched wide by a Mustang at the side of the net. Shiraki out of the penalty box. Took the shot. Blocker saved by Aaron. 9:12 to go in the first period, and Northville back to full strength, turning up the pressure again. Here's an escape route, though, courtesy of Ten Harmsel. Whacked it right into the skates of one of the Cougars there. That was Cohen Potter, skating for Uncle Tim. Gevorkian wears Cassie on his back tonight. And it goes right by Kalnan. Ten Harmsel grabbed onto behind the net. Thought that could have been a penalty too. Colin Klein with the aggressive forward check. Got his free hand on the body of Ten Harmsel, but the Cougars break it out anyway. It's over to Cooper Moss, bumped into by Topolsky. Kapinga pulled it back into the faceoff circle for a shot by Potter. Save made by Castiglione, and no rebound, crucially, as Moss was searching for it right at the side of the net. Good opportunity for the Cougars' top scoring line. You've got Potter with 20 points, including 13 goals. Isaac Kapinga, 15 points. Cooper Moss, 15 points. Cooper Moss and Carson Carlander, by the way, are playing game number 79 of their varsity careers. They'll hit 80 tomorrow, barring anything unforeseen. They lead the team in career appearances. Isaac Kappinga, the co-captain, leads the team in career points. As it's played around behind the Cougars' net and up the far wing slightly. Moss giving to Moore. Slips out of the reach of Celine, who threw a body check but missed. Right through the legs of Gage Potter. Kept in at the blue line. Chenoweth twisted it back below the goal line. Centered out in front. Great chance. Aaron made a kick save. An awkward one, as that was a stub shot on the one-timer by Owen Gagala, number 19. Right between the circles. He was wide open. Celine taking it around the goal. Fighting off a stick check from Moore. Moore is about to get called for a penalty. He cross-checked Celine as the shot from the near corner by Gagala, handled by Aaron, but the Cougars about to go short. 7:33 to go in the first. Moore was right on the borderline of legality with the stick check, but then he ended up delivering the cross check, and that was too much for the referee at center ice. And Coach Marchand giving Parker Moore a couple of tips as he goes to the penalty box. Face-off won by Northville. This power play clicking at well over 35%. Reba to the far face-off circle to Marinov. Back to Reba. Eyes it up, fed it to Agelski. One-timer, too many bodies in front. Turned up the boards and out by Catholic Central. And looks like Heminger is limping to the bench. Heminger playing for Ruck. That's what's on the back of his jersey, spelled R-H-O-Q-U-E. But he took the brunt of that block shot. He barely made it to the bench. Turned out of the zone on one touch by Noah Onstad. On down it goes. Tommy Marinoff sailing through center. Around the edge against Ten Harmsel. Marinoff settling in. Cradling the biscuit. 1 minute to go on the power play. Marinoff speeds it across. Agelski takes it, shoots and scores through a screen. Aaron didn't see it until it was past his glove hand, and Northville has a 1-0 lead. Agelski, his 26th of the year, tying Marinoff for the team lead with the assist to Graham Reba, who put the puck right in his wheelhouse for him to stop it, look the net over quickly, and shoot it in from about 45 feet out, maybe 40. Mustangs lead it on the road. 6:30 left in the first. And it's a PPG for the visitors. They scored just about halfway through. So Agelski gets the goal. Back come the Cougars on a quick chance off the face-off, and a blocker save by Castiglione on the opportunity for Jack Reynolds. Had to double-check the number. The specialty purple jerseys don't have the numbers on the arm, so actually kind of tough to tell who it is. Got to go off other characteristics. And the Cougars snap it up the near side. Kalnan over to Gavorkian and right back to Kalnan, but too far out of his reach for him to take. Jersisson back behind his back over to Cassie up the near wing it goes. Caden Connor powering his way in. Gavorkian stopped the puck up in the corner, but Cassie follows on. Cassie centering, deflected away from Callahan. Right back to the point, shot into traffic, blocked down there, never got through to Aaron, and out it comes. Cooper Moss shoots in for Catholic Central, trailing at home. Hasn't happened too often this year. They've got off to great starts here at home. Wrister by Moss, deflected, pad save by Castiglione. To the far wing, Ten Harmsel creeps down into the face-off dot. He was knocked down. The Mustangs try to get out and gallop. See what they can do as Klein backhands it, broken up by Parker Moore, forced it ahead, 2-on-2 rush. Moss pulls up, shoots into the belly of Andrea Castiglione, and he hangs on for the whistle with 5:05 to go in the first. So the power play tally for Northville, I've got them at 38% conversion rate on the season. I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate, I do appreciate the new game sheet stats this year, but sometimes I've seen entire games not get logged, so you don't really know unless you personally hand record every power play. And of course, I don't see these guys, so I did not do that. But just judging by some of the numbers there. And by the way, that's Igelski's 9th power play goal this season, 26 total, 9 on the advantage. Marinoff pulls it free into the slot, fanned on the wrister. Back to the blue line. He played it there. Lee through traffic and into the near corner. Shiraki dumps it behind. Igelski stops it there. Marinoff with Igelski. Igelski takes it. Wearing the A on his jersey for alternate captain for Northville. Shiraki played it toward the low slot. Broken up, taken away by Ten Harmsel. And Heminger sends it through center. Here comes McLean battling through a check. McLean setting it up for Carlander. Backhand score! Carlander stuck with it. He got stoned initially by Castiglione, but then he turned it into the goal from an extreme angle. I don't know how he found that angle, but he did. And Carlander ties it at 1. Wild horses run faster. Carlander's 5th of the year. McLean battling through a body check to set that chance up. Give him credit. He had his head up looking for the pass, and it connected to Carlander. It was a sterling save from Andrea Castiglione, but on the rebound, Carlander followed his own shot, and he did not have much room to slide that in, but he did. Let alone do it on your backhand. Even more impressive. Icing against Northville. So a quick retort from the Cougars to tie it up on Hockey Fights Cancer Night. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is Cougar Puck Radio. Thank you for joining me. Onstad at center. Oh, my goodness. That puck was gunned right into the Northville bench, and Onstad puts his hand up to apologize. Just past the head of head coach Ryan Ossenmacher. Between him and one of his assistants. Hey, the players have it easy over there. It's the coaches who really have to watch out. That clanged off the aluminum back there. Kind of like an aluminum siding. Another puck off the rink. Deflected by Celine this time. Ethan Celine. Missed an opportunity there. He could have played for Celine. Not too far from that area. Could have been the rare player to wear the same name on his, on the front of his jersey and on the back of his jersey. Potter gets a secondary assist on the play. Point number 21 for him. And it's a stationary breakout for Catholic Central. Onstad skates it out from behind his goal. Beats one man, gets by Gagala as well. Onstad cruising down the right wing, below the goal line. On the puck, checked there by Luke Topolsky. Puck comes loose over to Gage Potter. Flipped it, trying to connect to Cooper Moss. It was taken away by Celine, but the puck gets stopped there inside the blue line. Cappinga's got some jump in his step. Takes it back in front, stopped by Castiglione. Turned it back into the top of the slot, and it's turned away. Back out to the blue line, and the shot from Onstad was blocked. Isaac Cappinga is fully engaged, but he turns this one over right above the face-off circles and rifled into the Catholic Central end by Celine. He hightails it off the ice for a line change. Action picking up late in the first. 1-1 the score, under 3 to go before the intermission. Cappinga had a look in front, and then he tried to set someone up as well. The puck just wouldn't behave for the Cougar co-captain, who is the career scoring leader for Catholic Central. Active, I should say, career scoring leader, 48 points, including 20 goals. Gorky handing it. Coming right down the slot was Connor, but he was stripped. Strong stick on the far side by Ten Harmsel. Back out to the blue line. Sprinting there was Jack Reynolds. Couldn't quite get there, but that was an impressive run out to the point by him. Reba shooting. Knocked down. Fielded by Gorkel. Try to go back to the point and does. That's handled by Sieving. Sifts it through. It goes wide and turned down the ice by Onstad all the way this time. It's an icing whistle against Catholic Central with 1:59 left in the first period. We're here in Byron Center, the home of the Cougars, Southside Ice Arena. It'll be senior night. I keep saying that. Senior day tomorrow. Hard to break that habit. Morgan Pistelli, Jackson Dozma, Cooper Moss, Karsten Carlander, Jacob Aaron, the 5-man class of 2026. Out to center it skids. Lee surrounds it, feeds it for Chenoweth, takes it off the bounce from the sideboard. Zagelski goes backward with it. Lee up the far wing, deflected into the zone by Shiraki. Saucered ahead by the Cougars' Morgan Pistelli to Karsten Carlander. McLean tried to get past the defense down the left wing. That didn't work, and cleared off the boards by Marinoff. The chase is on into Cougars real estate. Flipped up and out by Gavorkian. He took a cross check from Marinoff in the small of his back. Play continues on. Under 90 seconds to go. Play broken up at center. Here comes Kate Heminger with Carlander. Heminger shoots, and Castiglione. It looked like that puck was going to come out of his chest, but it stayed there. He pinned it with his glove. Otherwise, Carlander could have had another rebound goal. But it remains 1-1. So Northville's gotten caught a couple of times, a little too hasty, getting bodies forward. The Cougars break it up at center, and they went in on a 2-on-1. Heminger with Carlander. The Cougars win that face-off at the right dot, but it drifts back to Kappinga, couldn't make a play. Cassie the other way, shot it against the grain and missed it to the left. Drive from the left side boards by Topolsky, missed the target as well. 1 minute to go in the first period. Plenty of chances for both sides. One goal on the board for each. Turned over, Connor's shot blocked by the kneeling Ten Harmsel. And Catholic Central lobs it through center ice, back down to the Northville line. Topolsky stick handling through a couple of purple-clad Cougars. Topolsky hands to Cassie, top of the circle, 40 seconds to go in the period. Back to the blue line, Connor lines it up, fires, save Aaron. He saw that one all the way and hangs on. 33 seconds to go in the frame. Line change for both sides. Klein at the face-off dot for Northville against, looks like that's Carson Carlander, and it was. Penalty coming up against Northville. Yeah, having a hard time reading those TV numbers, if you will, on their sleeves. They're white with the purple on the inside. Anyway, the penalties against Northville. Reba to the box. Interference, the call, and Catholic Central gets a power play very late in the period. 25 seconds to go before the Zamboni comes out again. But that's plenty of time to win a face-off and set up at least one chance. Graham Reba to the box for interference, obstructing the Cougars' forward check. Hooked back by Ten Harmsel to Carlander, back to Ten Harmsel. Bumped off the puck and taken away by Gorky. He's got 11 seconds. Gorky driving in shorthanded. Catches up to it below the goal line. Takes a hard bump from Onstad. The Cougars have the puck, but pretty much out of time. Just 2 seconds to go. Long drive by Ten Harmsel, and down to the butterfly at the last second was Castiglione to make one final save, although I think that was right after the whistle. We've come to the end of one period of play. Northville scored first. Ethan Agelski on the power play. Carlander scored second for Catholic Central to tie it up at even strength. That's where we stand after 17 minutes of play. Stay with us on Cougar Puck Radio. Back after 10 with more high school hockey from Southside. Just about time for the second period from Southside. Welcome back to Cougar Puck Radio. Just 2 broadcasts left on CPR this year, counting tonight. All playoff games will be on the NFHS network, and I will be planning to provide my audio services to those broadcasts. It'll look the same. It'll just be pay for play. But that's coming up on Thursday. It's either an 8 or an 8:30 start at Patterson Ice Center across town. Catholic Central starts the second with a power play. They went 0 for their only opportunity in the first. They gave up a power play goal. Actually conceded a couple of shorthanded chances to Northville as well. So hoping for something cleaner on this advantage to start the frame. On Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Capping a centered, it rattled off the skate of one of the Mustangs. That was Walters, and in on his netminder. And we have a new goalie for Northville. That's Carter Nissen. Nissen takes over for Andrea Castiglione. I'm glad that I noted the number when he turned around. Nissen on the year has a .906 save percentage and a 1.82 goals against, 4 shutouts. Castiglione, by the way, had a .917 save percentage. So the Mustangs have gotten great goaltending this year by high school standards, really by any standards. But Castiglione, who I thought was maybe flexing something, going for long skates after saves in that first period, it makes sense now. Might have some sort of ailment that he's battling. As it's right in on Jacob Aaron, and shorthanded, he's got to pin it down and get the whistle. I didn't hear the whistle, but I'm assuming it sounded because everyone quit on the play. New penalty killers out there for Coach Ossenmacher's Mustangs, who have won 2 straight after losing 3 of 4. Last year, they fell to Brighton in the region final. Northville ranked 5th in D1, 10th in the Super 10, provided by the Michigan High School Hockey Coaches Association every couple of weeks on the Michigan High School Hockey Hub website. Back to the blue line, Onstad holds for Catholic Central. CC unranked in D3, in case you're wondering. They have not been able to penetrate that poll yet this year. Not that it matters. Just one way to gauge how you're regarded across the state. Lead pass for Moss, and Cooper Moss backhands it in deep and then heads off for a line change. Power play about over. Catholic Central has not been able to put any pressure on this one either, as Peters zipping through and fires a shot that Aaron covers up. Another shorthanded shot for Northville. That's a few in this game already. Thanks to Eli Rice, student assistant, for running the camera tonight once again. So Northville trying to make it 3 wins in a row. Catholic Central aiming to avoid 2 losses in a row, which I mentioned in the first period, but I'll say it again. That would be the first losing streak of the season. It would be a short streak, but a streak nonetheless. But they don't want to suffer that, obviously. They want to keep that nice run of consistency alive throughout the entire regular season. Heminger down the boards. And the puck scooted away from him into the possession of Caden Connor. Up the far boards, Connor takes a swing at it. It's up in the atmosphere. And pushed to the Cougars line by Gorky. Gorky laid it back. Good pass to Marinoff off the bench, and he snipes it over the net off the glass. He had a head of steam moving toward the net. So does Heminger here as he tried to wedge Lee off the puck. Couldn't quite get it, but Heminger lays it back for the forechecking Caleb McLean, but he's turned away. Shiraki back on the counter for the Mustangs of Northville High School. Played it behind the Catholic Central net. On it is Onstad, or pardon, that's Pastelli rather. Couldn't take it away, now he does, and puts it right on the tape of Caleb McLean, who's playing for Aunt Kiki. McLean down the wall. McLean turning to the forehand, but he was stripped at the last second. Igelski couldn't get it out, though, for Northville. The puck pinned to the half wall. Graham Reba extracting it. Around the near boards, Gavorkian took a hard hit, and it goes right through the stick of Kalnan. And Kalnan backtracking as Igelski sets up shop in the Cougars' end. Backhands it down the wall. Picked off, but given away. Igelski handed it off for a shot by Celine that's blocked. Huge block. by Noah Onstad. He got in the way, or pardon me, that's Parker Moore. Parker Moore saving the day, perhaps, but swatted right to Griffin Peters, and he again shoots from the right wing. This time he missed. Gagala held it at the blue. Peters pulls away from Moore, taking possession. Back to the point, a shot by Chenoweth. Easy blocker save by Aaron. He controlled that rebound, punched it away. But Celine first on it, to control for Northville. Back to the blue line. Chenoweth wristing, deflected over the high glass. And out of play, 13:07 to go in the second. No goals yet in the second period. Northville averaging 4 per outing. The Cougars are allowing just 2.2 per game. That's been their strong suit this year. Defending and structured play. Really a cooperative method of play for the Cougars. That's icing against them. I'm not saying they're playing conservatively this year. I don't think they are. I think they're playing aggressively, but teammates are covering for teammates. When defensemen decide to step up, the forwards are right there to fill in behind just in case. Hockey's a quick game. You got to move as a 5-man unit. You get 2 stretched out, and then suddenly the spaces are wide open in your end, and teams can make you look silly. Gajtka clears off the glass. It hit one of those partitions and hopped right to Rapotsky in the slot. Left it back to Klein, and he jabbed a backhand that missed. Klein tripped over the post and fell down. The referee put his whistle to his lips, but then thought better of it. I think initially his reaction was that one of the Cougars tripped him. Catholic Central clears. Bodies collide in the neutral zone. Callahan for Northville and Gajtka for Catholic Central. Ten Harmsel delivers the body check. Loose puck as a result. Moss finesses down into Mustangs real estate. Metzger pulling it away from Gage Potter up the far side, and systematically Northville has the puck through center. Rip Rapotsky, that is Rip Rapotsky. Great name. Great hockey name. Good name for anything. Ten Harmsel, there's a good name too, as he sends it right through the Mustang slot, but only man there is Jersisson. Gorky, rink wide. Far wing, that's Alex Cassie, the defenseman, activating. Cassie looked to turn it in front. Went off of a Cougar stick. Right back to the point, Jersisson. All the way across. Reba, who has an assist tonight on the only Northville goal. Shoved right through the slot. Jersisson again. Over to Reba. Shooting blocked by Postelli. It hops to the near boards. No one knew where it was for a moment. Now the Cougars have it. Ten Harmsel around the boards. Jersisson couldn't hold on the blue paint as it ricochets to center. Tommy Marinoff circles the wagons for Northville. Dropping back, Heminger trying to get through Jersisson. Some legal interference laid there by the Northville defenseman, allowing Marinoff to scoot by a couple of Cougars. Marinoff a pass to the doorstep, deflected away from Shiraki, who yanks it back to the point. Topolsky all the way across. Tough pass for Chenoweth the handle on his backhand side, and so he has to drag to center. Topolsky clips it over on far wing. Agelski makes a man miss. Agelski, a wrister. Aaron makes a key save to hold it out and keep it tied with 10:43 left in the second. Jacob Aaron, the backbone to this Cougar defense. The man playing for Mimi tonight comes up huge against Agelski, who scored earlier in the game. Cohen Potter trying to wedge that puck loose. It's in Shiraki's skates, and it hops right to the front of the net. Aaron gloves it, keeps it, and content for another face-off to his left. Tomorrow's opponent is Midland, our final broadcast of the year on the YouTube channel. Goes by fast, doesn't it? That's a 1 o'clock start, senior day. Topolsky on the D-to-D pass, snaps it right into the glove of Aaron again. Just rolling down the list of the friends and family that the Cougars are playing for. Jack Reynolds playing for Mom. Gavin Huskins for Uncle Tom. Cohen Potter, who just won that face-off for Uncle Tim. Some uncles, some aunts, some grandparents. More later as Topolsky takes the angle pass. Bunts it right back to Peters, who sends it into the corner for Ethan Celine. Drag feed out to Chenoweth. Waited for Colin to get close, and then he jammed the puck all the way into the far corner. Celine chasing after it for Northville. Back to Topolsky. Played it right through Celine, who dummied the play. Far wing, Gagala looking for an avenue. Instead, it's Peters. Around the wood to Topolsky. Peters off the kick plate. Moore pressuring. Moore got a stick in there to whack it away from Celine. Colin, watched closely by Chenoweth. Couldn't keep possession of the puck. Northville just grinding on the boards on this shift. But the Cougars are protecting the house rather well. Gagala takes a bump from Colin. Loose puck out to center. And that relieves the pressure for Catholic Central. They need a line change, but they can't get a full line change yet. Celine kicked it. That's going to be offside, and that will allow the Cougars to get some fresh skates out there. Alex Gavorkian playing for Cassie tonight. Parker Moore for Camden Lawton. Morgan Pistelli for Emma. Jackson Dozma not playing tonight, under suspension for his match penalty against Rockford last Saturday. In fact, Jackson's going to miss senior day tomorrow as well, but the Cougars aim to have him back for the regional playoffs, the regional semifinal on Thursday. Dumped down by Northville. That's icing against the Mustangs. The Cougars are the top seed in their region, by the way, so they do not have to play in the regional quarterfinals, unlike Grand Rapids Christian and Jackson Lumen Christi. EGR is the 2 seed. East will play Portage, who's the 3 seed in the 5-team region. So 2 wins for Catholic Central next week, and they'll have a regional title. Turning Moss right on net with that shot, and a stop made by Nissen. Castiglione out for Northville. Nissen in. And I'm assuming it's an injury situation for Northville. Long lead pass cleared ahead. And Gage Potter skating for Uncle Tim. Run off the puck by Lee. Loose out to the blue line. Can Ten Harmsel hold it? He can't. Twisted back into the zone on the backhand by Kappinga. And Isaac Kappinga latches onto the puck at the side of his net. Past the midway point of the second period. No goals on the board in this period. Kappinga driving it forward beyond the reach of Moss. He thought he deflected it, but icing is called. I mentioned both Moss and Carlander playing their 79th games for Catholic Central. Isaac Kappinga playing his 73rd. Jackson Dozema stuck on 75 until next week. For Jacob Aaron, by the way, this is career start number 50 for the Cougars. Long shot by Sieving. Aaron, pads it out. Aaron's career record at 27, 20, and 2. So a milestone for Aaron. Held at the blue line by Shiraki. He gloved it down. It's loose in the skates of Noah Berkmeyer. Jensen stapled his man to the boards. That was Egelski, excuse me, as here's Cohen Potter skating it in, shooting right off the pad of Nissen, back out to the far side. A blast is blocked from Parker Moore. Egelski is away, partial breakaway, in on net, he scores. He scooted right by Jacob Aaron and dumped it into the open side on the forehand, and it's 2-1 Northville. Egelski's second of the evening. 27th of the year for number 13 for the Mustangs. And that'll be unassisted, as it was a blocked shot by Egelski that set it all up. Fitting for him, as he played his first high school season for the Bay Reps, who are down 1-0 to Byron Center after 2 periods, or late in the second period, on the green rink here at Southside, just behind me. Topolsky got high sticked by Heminger and undetected by the referees, it looks like. Delayed offside against Northville. Catholic Central playing from behind for the second time tonight. Headman for McLean. Took a bump but spun the puck below the goal line. Back out to the blue line, held by Ten Harmsel. Shot off the shoulder of Nissen, and it hops loose right to a Mustang. That's Rapotsky. Got it back from Kogan. Rapotsky right down the slot. Shot was blocked by Ten Harmsel. Loose and poked back out to the blue line. Chenoweth cradles, shoots it softly. Blocked down there. Cougars can't make anything happen at center as Heminger just missed that lead pass. Heminger rips it ahead. Knocked down by Chenoweth. And it is an unassisted goal, as I suspected. Egelski blocked the shot, and he took care of the rest from there. The jailbreak for Northville. And the Mustangs settle it down in their own zone. Attacking the goal to our left, Celine chopped it off the wood, stopping it behind his goal, Aaron. 2-10 Harmsel, near side Onstadt. Up the wall, Moss. Good pass to Gage Potter, but he couldn't take it and spin away from Peters. As the Mustangs shut down the neutral zone again, and they ice it again to the Mustangs. These two teams from opposite sides of the state, but they do have 4 common opponents by my count. Each team has played Rockford. Catholic Central went 0-1-1 against the Rams this year, the resurgent Rams. Northville lost to Rockford as well. Both teams beat East Grand Rapids by a goal. Capping scores! Right off the draw, loose puck. He took it and beat Nissen glove side, and it's 2-2. Isaac Cappinga. He's rolling down Rodeo. 5th of the year. Second time tonight. Catholic Central answers quickly. 5:56 to go in the second. In the first period, it took them 2 minutes and 13 seconds to answer. Here in the second, less than that, 1 minute and 35 seconds between the two goals. And here they come again. Moss poked it just wide of the net. He was in close quarters. Moss got to that rebound behind the goal, confronted by Lee. Connor dangerously in front of his net, but he escaped. Fed to Gorky. He went across to Cassie. Cassie listed as a D-man on my roster, but he is not playing defense right now. I think earlier I said he was activating from the blue line. No, he's just playing up front. Alex Cassie, the right-handed shot. Number 10, tall forward for Northville, leaning on a couple of Cougars in the corner. So Cappinga scores his 5th of the year, 21st of his career. And there he is playing some defense. Backhanding off the glass, not out. Lee kept it in there. Gorky bounced it behind the Cougars' goal. Morgan Pastelli, first and only season for Catholic Central for him. To the near side wall. Onstadt watching. Cappinga pulled it loose. Onstadt cleared. Up the boards it goes. Onstadt gets in the play. Gage Potter, toe drag to the backhand, but he's poke checked by Ariba. He had Onstadt behind him, but just didn't quite see him for that layoff pass. Strong skating by Marinoff. Here he comes. It's a 2-on-1. Across. Save Aaron on that chance by Cassie. From the inner edge of the right circle. No rebound. 4:29 left in the period. And it remains 2-2. Marinoff out of a cannon through neutral ice. He beat a couple of Cougars with his legs and then slid the pass over to Cassie, but he couldn't lift it. And Aaron closed down everything low. Shiraki stuffs it in front. That was a set play for Northville, nearly panned out, but Marinoff just couldn't quite get there. Egelski off the boards. He was infringed upon, and it's a penalty against Catholic Central. And Egelski pumps his fist. He's been everywhere tonight. He's been dangerous every time he touches the puck. And Catholic Central goes short for the second time. Hooking the call against Cade Heminger. 4:18 to go in the period. And the Mustangs power play, 1-for-1 tonight. Gets a second crack at it. We've played mostly at 5-on-5 tonight, 2 power plays apiece. Marinoff wedges it back to the point, but Reba couldn't hold it. Reba drawing in Carlander before he fed it off to Marinoff. He lost control of it. Gorky, he lost his stick. That's why he lost control. Moss couldn't tow it into the middle of the ice with Reba sweeping it away. Egelski takes it back. 20 seconds into the advantage for Northville. Egelski leaving it. Marinoff on the deep drop. Here he comes, taking advantage of the space afforded to him. Now sets up top of the circle. He's got Egelski near side. Marinoff hanging onto it. Shooting. Save, Aaron, into his belly pad. And nothing further from that. Marinoff, 26 goals, 5 of those on the power play. Egelski, 27 goals, 9 of those on the power play. So look out for 13, look out for 53. Shiraki has 3 power play goals out of his 10. He's the man in the middle, in the shooting hole, if you will. Egelski playing the point. Cooper Moss trying to charge it forward, but it just went right to Reba. Egelski and Reba exchange. The pass to Marinoff, a shot deflected, and it's in the pads of Aaron somewhere, and he gets the whistle. The referee says, my bad, that was actually still loose for a moment. He might have blown it just a shade quickly, but Aaron eventually collected it, so I don't think any harm on the play. And the Mustangs didn't really complain much either. The battle for the puck, off the draw, and again the Mustangs win it. Egelski assesses his options with his head up. Marinoff to Egelski again. A shot, saved by Aaron, I think, and popped off the boards and out. Cleared by Jack Reynolds, the staunch penalty killer for Catholic Central. I say I think that hit Aaron because there were 2 and 3 bodies in front of the net. Egelski swerves through center and throws on the brakes. All the way across. Marinoff takes it off the boards. Not a great pass, and Reynolds got a stick on it, and Moore pitchforks it out for Catholic Central. 15 seconds to go on the advantage. Looks like it's going to go by the boards for Northville. 10 seconds now. Reba, the captain, or one of the captains, left it back to Chenoweth. Bram Reba over the blue line. Penalty time runs out. Heminger onto the Cougars bench onto the ice as Moore couldn't clear. Moore again stops it, side of his goal. McLean back behind the net. Pastelli trying to find the escape hatch. Up the middle it goes. He found it right to Carlander. Scoots it over on the sauce pass to McLean. Try to nudge it through the wickets on Chenoweth, but no sail. Back the other way. Kogan run off the puck. Kogan offside. Northville just over the blue line. 1:43 to go in the second. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is Cougar Puck Radio. Thanks if you're a loyal viewer. Thanks if you're a first-time viewer. It's my honor to bring Catholic Central hockey to you via this YouTube channel for the 5th season. Punched ahead by Gage Potter. Chenoweth with Potter pressuring, forced it right through Potter over to Topolsky, and out it goes. Another odd man rush for the Mustangs. Connor, a shot, missed it. High to the left, but it's loose in front and shoveled by Cassie, but he couldn't get it through. And down it goes the other way. The chase is on. No icing. Topolsky hammered by Moss. Moss cancels with Topolsky. Loose there and flipped into the screen by Chenoweth. That actually buys Northville a breather, as for a moment it looked like Moss might be able to win that battle and step out in front. or at least get some reinforcements to join him, but the stoppage slows things down. Gives Northville an opportunity to get some fresh legs out there. Owen Gajtka against Carson Carlander. Still up for grabs. Stepping in, McLean ended up turning the backhand just wide of the net. 1 minute to go in the second period. Near wing battle. Pushed past McLean. Celine to center. Turned over and scaled right back in by Onstadt. Walters up the far side. It deflects over to Celine. Ten Harmsel keeping tabs on him. Celine chips it behind the goal. Gets his feet moving. Celine tried to go rink wide, but it was rejected by Gavorkian. Celine chipped it into the corner. Gajtka to Lee at the point. Jacob Lee down the boards. Wristing, blocked by Gavorkian. Lee knocked Gavorkian down hard from behind. Play continues on. Cleared by Catholic Central. 15 seconds to go in the period. McLean wiped out, and a penalty against Northville. Great hustle from Caleb McLean. Callan Walters, the guilty man. And the Cougars get a power play in the waning seconds of the second period, just like they did back in the first. Third power play for Catholic Central. First penalty of the period against Northville. Walters gone for tripping. Moss won the draw, cleanly right back. Kappinga, who scored from a similar spot earlier this period, missed the net low to the right. Chip side of the net. Kappinga hooked it in front of the goal and cleared off a stick by Connor. That's a high stick on the puck by Catholic Central with just 2 seconds to go in the second period. And so the Cougars have to defend a face-off in their own end to get to the intermission. And then, much like in the second, they'll come out for the third with most of that power play still remaining. It'll be a minute and 44 seconds of power play time to start the third, but they first have to get through this, and the Mustangs send their top guns out there to try to create something. Marinoff with Egelski right behind him, hoping to one-time a puck if Marinoff can win the draw. And he does. Egelski shot it, and he pulled it, yanked it wide right by a couple of feet, but ended up panning out just like the Mustangs hoped. The execution just wasn't there in the end. But Egelski's got a couple. Isaac Kappinga answered that second goal, though, to tie it up for Catholic Central. And we'll go to the third in 10 minutes' time with this one up for grabs. Good one tonight between the Mustangs and the Cougars on Cougar Puck Radio. Stay with us for more from Southside Ice Arena in Byron Center.
I know, right?
I know.
It's kind of amazing.
I
But
know, I'm his family.
Oh.
I almost started crying when he scored that goal. He didn't think he'd be able to have the strength,
I guess just because of where it is, or he's able to stabilize it enough.
Yeah, I think the doctor did the cast, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's his left, correct? Versus
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, as a left-handed shot, his right hand is like the stable hand. So, I guess if it were the other hand, it might not be possible. I don't know. But
He didn't even know if he'd be able. He said he'd be good at passing, but he didn't know about shooting.
that was a pretty good shot there. I haven't really been able to tell that much, honestly. If I didn't know, I wouldn't be able to tell.
How great.
Yeah. To be able to get back out here and contribute. Looks great tonight, honestly. Looks really good. Yeah.
I said he went out with a
Got some jumping and stuff. Yeah. Thanks for saying hi. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Catholic Central Hockey brought to you by our gold sponsors, Innovia Wealth and ARC Insights. Also, big thanks to our Royal Blue sponsors, Chris Back, Fox Motors, Sharp Automotive, and 3-in-1 Solutions. And yeah, if you come down here to Southside, you see the Fox Motors signs everywhere, as they're the underwriter for the Fox Motors Hockey Club, of course. So we go to the third period. Second to last game of the regular season on Hockey Fights Cancer Night. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is Cougar Puck Radio. And I mentioned that we won't have the regional games on this platform. That'll be on the NFHS network, as they always are. But we do have the game time for this upcoming Thursday at Patterson. It's an 8:30 start. And like I said, the opponent will be either Jackson Lumen Christi or Grand Rapids Christian. The Cougars have beaten both of those teams this year. They've also beaten East Grand Rapids if it ends up being the Pioneers on the other side, if Catholic Central can get by the region semi. And they've beaten Portage too. So that's all of the other teams in the regional bracket they have defeated this season. They beat Portage in overtime. Knocked off the stick of Parker Moore, back deep in Cougars territory. And Pastelli, or excuse me, that's Onstop, puts it right on the tape of Cooper Maas, who maneuvers to the outside, drops the backhand pass back to the point. Weird bounce off the boards and unable to be corralled by Parker Moore. Moore does take it back, though, under duress from Caden Connor. Northville has done a great job killing off these power plays. But here's an opportunity for Kappinga, who shoves it ahead into the far side. Back behind the goal he goes, reversed it, and the pass to the slot was broken up. Taken away by Topolsky, and he skies at the distance all the way in on Jacob Aaron. Aaron makes the play right off to Moore. Moore rolled right off of Lee. Connor trying to stuff it in front, or pardon, that's Kogan rather. 27, not 22. No excuse on the Northville jerseys. Those are easy to read. It's the Cougars purple get-ups that are giving me some trouble tonight. But we play on. Got to play through it. As Jensen allows it to deflect ahead. Down to the final 10 seconds of the power play, and the Cougars are going to come up empty again, it looks like, as Kogan has run off the puck. Jensen stretching out ahead, but down with it. Cohen Potter left it in his own end for Pastelli. To Ten Harmsel, coughed it up. Marinoff, though, handed it right back over to the Cougars. Cade Heminger dumped it down. Jensen charging toward the goal, but handed off by Carter Nissen, who replaced Andrea Castiglione after one period. And Nissen remains in goal. Counterattack for the Mustangs, but overskated by Marinoff. Marinoff gets a second chance at it. Leads it ahead to Shiraki. Pulled the trigger on a wrist shot off the skate boot of Casey Ten Harmsel. And Casey's back on it. Jensen, one touch into the middle for Ten Harmsel. Eluded his reach and fired down the ice by Heminger, but again, right on goal. So eliminates any icing. Long stretch of uninterrupted play to start the third period. Nearly 3 minutes of it. Marinoff, though, I jinxed it, tripped up inside the blue line by Morgan Pustelli, the Cougar defenseman. And another power play upcoming for Northville. The Mustangs' third of the evening, 14-12 to go in the third. Just rattling off a few more names on the backs of jerseys here. Cooper Moss playing for his mom. Isaac Kappinga playing for his nana. Brady calling on for Grandpa calling on. Backhanded out by the Cougars. There is Moss with the MOM on his nameplate. Harassing and forcing the pass to the right wing. Connor closes, fires the shot. It was deflected off of Moss, and Aaron had to adjust, but he made the stick save. Celine nudged it toward the front. Instead, it's pulled back to the corner by Kappinga. Tried once to clear, tried twice, couldn't get it past Chenoweth. Right back, though, to Onstad, and he's dispossessed by Chenoweth on the poke check. Gavorkian out of the corner. He couldn't clear. Northville's potent power play has full control after 40 seconds of advantage time. Chenoweth closes. Down in deep. The centering pass by Walters broken up off a Cougar stick. High in the zone, Topolsky across Chenoweth. It's the second unit for Northville. Behind the goal, circling is Celine to the point in Lee. Back to Celine off the half wall. Pirouetting against Kappinga. Cycling it out high, Connor, and he dubbed it through the slot, deflected. Gavorkian over to Moss, one hand on the stick, couldn't get it out. Lee down the boards. 50 seconds to go on the power play. Kappinga looked it over, shot it off the board, strange bounce, and right to a Cougar. That's Cooper Moss. He has a shorthanded goal this year, but not enough left in the tank to go after it this time. He's off for a line change. Effective penalty killing work by Catholic Central. 30 seconds to go on the advantage. From here at Southside, headman pass picked off by, that is Caleb McLean. Turned back by Reba. Marinoff swiveling through. Nifty skating and stick handling from Marinoff. Back out to the top, all the way across. And fanning on it was Egelski, looking for the hat trick. Egelski played it behind the goal. Power play is over. The Cougars kill it off. Shalaki, the handoff to Lucas Gorky. Far boards Marinoff. Pressured, gave it up. Reba, near side Egelski, took it on the backhand side. Right back to Reba, high in the zone. Egelski, not a lot of room, took the shot anyway, hit a leg, still free in the Cougars' end. Out of the face-off circle, Marinoff, pass across, too hot to handle for Gorky. Giving it to Shiraki, back down deep, Gorky to Marinoff, back to Gorky, backhand blocked. Pushed by Reynolds, up the far boards, and not out yet. One more try for Catholic Central. Here's Onstad. He clears. At long last, the Cougars can make a line change. Egelski all the way across. Off the boot of Sieving. Pulling it back more. 11:13 to go in the third. In a 2-2 game. One goal each in the first. One goal each in the second. Moore hammers it right by Colnon. And all the way down for an icing call against Catholic Central. Other folks being honored by Cougars tonight. Grandma Santa Maria by Noah Berkmeyer. For Levi Jensen, it's Coach Norm. For Casey Ten Harmsel, it's Grandpa Ten Harmsel. I mentioned the Potters, Uncle Tim for both. And Drew Brown for Karsten Carlander, who scored the first goal tonight. Out of the corner, Connor, right back out to the point, deflected in by the reach of Chenoweth. He's going to have to get help from his goalie, and he does. Carter Nissen to Chenoweth, turned it over near side, off call on skate, but he lost the handle. And so here's Connor, charging in, down the right wing, centering for Cassie, off his skate, into the low slot. Reynolds swoops in for Catholic Central. It's a 2-on-2 rush back. Reynolds' attempted pass ends up going off of Sieving's skate. To the side of the net, Carter Nissen got rid of it. Into the middle again for Colin Sieving. Stretching through neutral ice. Handing off to Cassie. Cutting inside. Oh, that hit the outside of the goal. It was off a Cougar stick, I think, and nearly an own goal. But Aaron had the Pad pinned to the post, as you should. Reba the shoot in from neutral ice. Aaron melts it down. 10:05 to go in regulation. By the way, the game between Bay Reps and Byron Center is 1-1, or was 1-1 late into the third. I see Byron Center's got a whole legit TV setup over there. Pretty impressive stuff. As Walters shoots on one leg. That's deflected by Kappinga. Just talked to his grandma about the fact he came back from injury, able to contribute. Moss trying to flush it ahead. He's got Gage Potter in front, but too many Mustangs between him and the goal. Out at center ice, whacked at by Kappinga. He's got that long reach, does Kappinga. Forcing the dump in by Reba. Pustelli ducked down as Rapotsky hammered him, but Pustelli just bounced right off and kept on going. Poke toward the slot. Right there, Moore does nudge it to center through the body of Celine, but Celine takes it right back. He scales it in. Pustelli taking the handoff from his netminder. Moore waiting, trying to draw in a Mustang. Northville's been aggressive on the forecheck tonight. Aggressive all around. Moss down the boards in a 2-2 game. Fell down trying to stop. Jacob Lee fishing for the puck. Capping it to it. He's added some extra pep in his step tonight. Turned it through the slot. Off the skate of Gage Potter. Wild shot by Pustelli. Ends up behind the goal. Kappinga throws the reverse hit against Jacob Lee to create some space. Refs will usually let you do that within reason, as long as the puck's relatively close. Flipped out by Lee, down through into Cougars real estate. Pustelli trying to catch the Mustangs in a change. His lead pass, though, deflected by the diving Peters for Northville. Good hustle to get all the way across the ice. Off the bench, Carlander held it. Blind pass to the middle, off the blocker of the goalie Nissen on the driving chance for McLean. Shot from the point by Onstad, and I think Nissen got a piece of that too. Marinoff rounds the goal, crossing over powerfully. Tommy Marinoff down the boards, looking for someone in front. Head up, snaps the pass, it's off a Cougar's stick. Onstad broke it up. Marinoff back to it, pulled it right away from his teammate Metzger. Hard pass to Agelski. Agelski maneuvering near side. I think one of the lights above us went out. Agelski backhanding, and it goes off of Aaron, rattling behind the goal. Marinoff, blind centering pass, intercepted and skated to safety by McLean. Down the boards it goes. And we did lose a light right above our heads, and that is icing against Catholic Central. Must be the call, as the faceoff is going to come back down into Catholic Central territory to Jacob Aaron's right. Interesting. 7:38 to go in regulation, that is. The Cougars have played a couple of overtime games this year. They tied Caledonia, tied Rockford, beat Portage in OT. Also played a shootout against the Bay Reps in the West Michigan Hockey Showcase. And they had a tie against Jeffers in the Gaylord Showcase that didn't involve any overtime at all. Or no overtime, no shootout. Didn't know that was allowed. As here's Cassie, yanking it loose. Turned back, and he's checked hard by Gavorkian, but the puck free for Caden Connor. To the corner, and Lucas Gorky. Gorky got it right back. His backhand rattled off a Cougar over to Jack Reynolds. Couldn't quite clear. Kept in by Chenoweth by a matter of inches. And here's Cassie open from a sharp angle. Denied by Aaron, and he hangs on to the rebound at his feet with 6:48 left. Well, this is about the point of each of the first two periods when Northville took a lead, only to be quickly answered by Catholic Central with a tying goal. Carlander and Kappinga the goals tonight for the Cougars. I've got McLean, Jack Reynolds, and Cooper Moss down for assists. Ethan Igelski has both goals for Northville. Numbers 26 and 27 on the season. Moss down the wood. Potter, though, left it there. The Cougars got their lines crossed, so it's bounced in by Reba on the Cougars' net. Pulled loose by Kogan, trying to stuff it in front, and I think he drew a penalty on the trip. did Tommy Cogan. 6:25 remaining, and it's another Northville power play. Postelli, his second penalty of the period. Second tripping penalty of the period. Tommy Cogan, the quick twitch from the end boards and right to the side of the net, forcing Postelli into desperation defense. So the penalty kill called on again. Pushed back out to the point, but held there by Reba. Forced it over to Agelski. On his off-wing side, down deep, Schlocki across, and the shot by Marinoff somehow deflected wide. Penalty coming, and it's against Northville. And Shiraki can't believe it, but I think it's against him for some sort of an interference play in the high slot. I was tracking the puck, so I didn't see it, and yes, it is. It's a second interference call against Northville tonight. So with 6:11 to go, it's time for some 4-on-4. Jordan Shiraki to the box. And he is comforted by the now backup goalie, Andrea Castiglione, who started this game, but has been replaced by Carter Nissen. He's in the penalty box now. He's the de facto attendant. Carlander tried to swing it forward off the faceoff and shoot it on goal. That didn't work. Re-entry, though, by Heminger. All the way across for a wrist shot by Cohen Potter that's deflected over the goal by Jacob Lee. Open ice for both sides. Reba to the far wing, Agelski. And the Mustangs keep their big guns out there. Marinoff for a shot, high and wide. 1:18 to go on the 4-on-4 situation. Agelski battling for the puck. He's got it. His motor is clicking a little bit faster than everybody's right now. Took the shot off of Onstad's stick, off the shaft of his stick, deflected to the far corner. Behind the goal, Marinoff. He's fighting his stick loose to try to get that puck, but he couldn't do it. Heminger amps up the intensity. Heminger speeds right by Marinoff on the far side. Flipped it over to the boards. Heminger to it. Oh, he had Onstad open in the slot, but the pass was about a foot too far ahead of it. Onstad bumped off the puck. Marinoff coming back the other way. Here he goes. Partial break. Shot, score. Tommy Marinoff right up the middle, and the forehand shot 5-hole beats Aaron. A second breakaway goal for Northville tonight. And for the third time, the Mustangs have a lead. Tommy Marinoff, his 27th of the season. And the 4-on-4 pays off for the high-powered Mustangs. And Catholic Central's got to go back on the chase. They will have a brief power play in 39 seconds. It'll only last 14 seconds, though. So they can't count on that. Perhaps they can strike in the 4-on-4 situation, which continues on. Gorky run off the puck, but stepping up the boards, Topolsky pushed it into Cougars territory and in deep. Gavorkian, under 5 to go, looking for an open man. Moore got bumped into in front of the Cougars bench. Play continues on. Turn right back into the skates of Cooper Moss. He finds it. Moss under duress, but now he scoots right by a couple of Mustangs. Moss down the boards, put it to the skates of Topolsky, but Topolsky got a stick in there to at least delay the rush chance. From behind the goal, it's Kapinga trying to center it out in front for Moss. That hit the outside of the frame. Gavorkian guides it far side. Carson Carlander, reaching for it. Couldn't keep it in the offensive zone, and just that quickly, the power play is over. Back to 5-on-5. So Catholic Central never really got a shot away on the advantage. McLean back to the blue line. Moore put it right past Celine, but couldn't get it behind Metzger, who cleared it to center at least, but the Cougars are right back on it. McLean, re-entry, down the wing, took a bump, ripped the shot that missed. Cohen Potter to the puck. And we're under 4 minutes to go in regulation. Northville by 1. Marinoff held in check for most of the night, but he does strike in a crucial moment for the visiting team. Potter drifting behind the goal. Walters got his stick tied up. Cohen Potter always gives you the 100% effort. Down to a knee, asking for a penalty. He's not going to get it. Cleared out by Walters. Peters. He'll get there. Peters tried to shoot it. He was poke checked expertly. Well done by Onstadt. Ten Harmsel reaching in. Can the Cougars do it one more time? Another one-goal rally. That would be required to get this thing to overtime. Kappinga trying wide. Kappinga cutting inside. And the puck drifted away just a little too far for him to lasso it in and get a backhand shot off. Kappinga already has a goal tonight. Postelli up ahead on the rush. Threw it toward the front. Moss tried to lift the stick of Walters. Big time battle at the net front, but won by the Mustangs. Here they come on the counter. Gorky down the boards. He's got Cassie behind him. Dropped it back, looking for him. Cassie pulls it in. Wristed the shot, deflection, score! It went in off a Cougar stick, I believe, and then off the left post and just hopped over the goal line for a 2-goal Mustangs lead. Northville looks like they're about to win their 3rd in a row. Bad bounce. Sometimes it happens. 2:22 left. And it's the biggest lead of the night for Northville. Alex Cassie, it'll be his 3rd of the season. Some friendly fire there. Well-intentioned, of course, trying to block the shot, but sometimes you only get a piece of it, and then you hope that it doesn't fool your own goalie. But like I said, the carom did not go the Cougars' way in that case. So cleared by Cohen Potter. Reba leading it ahead. Callahan deflects it forward, and Northville content to keep that puck deep now. They don't need any more goals. Postelli right to the front of his net, and Aaron covers it up. Lucas Gorky gets the assist. And I didn't know this, but Northville actually has people listed who they're playing for on Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Gorky is playing for his grandmother. They, of course, are not wearing any specialty uniforms, but taking part in the evening, we appreciate that as well. Shiraki trying to stuff it. Fended off well by the Cougars. Here's Agelski. High shot deflected in, but by a high stick. Shiraki with the stick above the crossbar. And so the goal doesn't count, and just like that, the referee will send the faceoff back down the other way. 1:44 left, and the Cougars dodge one, so it's not quite over yet. Shiraki saying, I tried, but if the shot's high, the shot's high, and if you tip it, it's not going to count if it's above the bar. So Agelski nearly had a 3rd point on the night. Instead, we play on a 4-2 score. 1:44 remaining. Off the draw, Moss trying to quick twitch it back to the point. He does. Ten Harmsel, though, has it punched by him. It's an empty net, and Shiraki missed the goal from mid-ice. I was curious if Coach Marchand might pull the netminder, Aaron, and he does in this case. I apologize. I didn't detect it with the naked eye. Face off outside the zone. Aaron will stay on the bench with 1:30 left. Trying to give the Cougars a chance to at least get that 3rd goal, and then you can work with that. Pushed ahead, Reba for the open net. Ten Harmsel went down to a knee, genuflecting, but didn't need to block that because the shot went wide. Agelski, he's out there looking for the hat trick. Battling for the puck below the goal line. Marinoff's in front. He scored the breakaway goal to put Northville ahead a few minutes ago. Headman pass by Ten Harmsel. Intercepted at center by Lee. Right toward the front. Bunted away by Onstadt. Up the near boards, Marinoff. Now he has it at center. He tried to wrist it toward goal. Ten Harmsel got a stick in the way. Under a minute to play in the 3rd. Moore down the far wall. Gunned ahead by Gagala, icing against Northville. 50 seconds remaining. So Catholic Central, barring a miracle finish here, will lose back-to-back games for the first time this season, but they will have a chance to come right back tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock, Scheduled face-off time on Senior Day against the Midland Chemics. One of my favorite nicknames in Michigan high school sports. Appropriate for the town, right? Onslaught, a shot deflected. Save made by Nissen. Rebound, and the Mustangs committed a penalty. The infraction drawn by Levi Jensen, who was battling hard to get himself open for a rebound chance, and he was grabbed onto. So, Northville commits its 5th penalty of the night. Luke Topolsky to the penalty box. 40 seconds to go. And Coach Marchand will keep his timeout in his back pocket. It's should be a 6-on-4 situation, and it is. Catholic Central wins the puck after the faceoff. Moore to Onstad, shooting again. This time, Cougar can't get a stick on it. To the blue line, Moore held it. A wrister off the glass, 23 seconds to go. Jensen leaning on his man. To the blue line and beyond, behind Onstad. Connor swatted at it. So did Gorky. Right back to Onstad. 13 seconds left. One last rush, perhaps. Gorky, though, clears for the Mustangs. The puck rolls up on edge, back in front of the Cougar goal, and time's going to run out on Catholic Central tonight. Jensen, a deflection on the shot from the Cougars' end, and that's it. Northville gets 2 in the final 5 minutes and change to pull away late and beat your Cougars by the final score of 4-2. Northville is 18-8, and the 5th-ranked team in Division I and the 10th-ranked team in all divisions in the state of Michigan comes in here and gets an impressive victory as they continue to put the pressure on, and eventually during a 4-on-4 situation, Tommy Marinoff scored his 27th goal of the year. Ethan Agelski had a pair for the Mustangs, 27 for him as well on the season, and Alex Cassie iced it with an insurance goal. Late, Isaac Kappinga and Carson Carlander, both seniors, both scoring the day before Senior Day, to keep Catholic Central viable and in this game for a long time, but the 2-2 tie broken in the final minutes by Northville. So the Cougars dropped to 16-8-2. One more regular season game left against Midland tomorrow as the Chemics play a couple of games here in Grand Rapids. They, in fact, played Grand Rapids Christian tonight across town at Eagles Ice Center. Didn't see a result on that one, but both teams will be on short rest, shall we say, for tomorrow's game, the regular season finale for both. So that's it from Southside. One last time for tonight on Cougar Puck Radio. I'm Matt Gajtka saying goodnight, God bless, and I'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon for Senior Day, Catholic Central versus Midland, 1 p.m.